There exists a fundamental aspect of existence called consciousness, also known as bliss, which permeates all things. As you become one with it, it becomes you. This is your true nature. It is self-contained and does not give rise to the world or the universe. Some teachings propose that the world is a manifestation of consciousness, and we must return to it, but there is nothing to return to. Consciousness is pure awareness, aware of itself as the ultimate reality. The world is akin to a reflection in a mirror. It has no substance of its own. You cannot grasp the reflection without grasping the mirror, and when you awaken, you realize that you are the mirror. The appearance of the world is like a mirage or an illusion. It seems to exist, but it does not truly exist. It can be challenging for the human mind to comprehend that our true nature is not what it appears to be. This is precisely what we must do. Realize that it is not duality, that there is only consciousness, and that we are that consciousness. Consciousness can be understood as a power that is aware of itself, a self-contained absolute reality. In essence, there is nothing but consciousness. There is no separation between consciousness and the individual or the world. Consciousness can be likened to the screen of reality, and all the images in the universe are like projections on this screen. Just like when we watch a movie, we become so engrossed in the images that we forget about the screen itself. We identify with the images and enjoy the movie. However, if we try to grab the images, we would only be able to touch the screen, not the images themselves. In the same way, we forget that we are superimpositions on the screen of life, and that the screen is consciousness. We mistakenly believe that we are the image, that we are individuals, and that there are external things to deal with in this world. But all of these things are illusory. They are like the water in a mirage, the snake in a rope, or the blueness of the sky. In reality, there is no sky, and there is no blue. Once we realize that the snake is actually a rope, we are no longer afraid of it. Likewise, if we try to catch the water in a mirage, we only end up with sand. This universe is an optical illusion, and the only reality is consciousness. The truth is that everything you thought was real was just a dream, a projection of your own consciousness. Just as in a dream, you will realize that everything you experienced was an illusion, and that you were never really separate from consciousness, which is the only reality. This realization will bring you true freedom, as you will no longer be bound by the limitations and suffering of the dream world. You will understand that you are the screen on which the dream is projected, and that the images in the dream are merely temporary and illusory. You are not the dream character, but the dreamer. This is the ultimate truth that spiritual seekers have been seeking throughout the ages, and it is available to anyone who is willing to awaken from the dream of separateness and recognize their true nature as consciousness itself. To understand that there is only consciousness, you must first experience it. The world we live in is a mortal dream, and great sages have taught us to identify with consciousness and absolute reality instead of what's happening in the world. The only freedom we have is to not react to anything and to turn within to know the truth. It may seem difficult to accept that these things don't exist when we feel the pain, sorrow, happiness, and joy of the world. We witness man's inhumanity, and it makes us sad. But in order to understand the truth, we must be prepared to turn away from the worldly things and dive deep within ourselves. It's important to note that this does not mean ignoring the world forever. Rather, we must take the time to focus on our inner being and come to know the truth of our existence. To put it simply, it means that while you're going through your daily chores, you need to be mindful and aware of the fact that everything around you is just an expression of consciousness. By being aware of this truth, you can become free from the limitations of this world. You can remind yourself of this truth every morning and throughout the day, and gradually you will awaken to the reality that everything is consciousness. This realization can lead you to a state of pure, choiceless awareness that transcends the limitations of this world.